Oh, yeah. Stormy loses and Nancy litters. And then we're going to talk about some other things, especially Joe Biden cheating during the town hall. So stick with me and I'll be right back. Hey everybody, this is Deb with Truthification Chronicles, and I've just got several little knick-knacky things that I think you're going to want to find out about. So to start out with, I've got this by Techno Fog, who says, a win for Trump. The Ninth Circuit has affirmed the district court's dismissal of Stormy Daniels' defamation action against Donald Trump, because she was trying to claim that a tweet of his was defamation. Well, didn't work. Here's the actual document if you want to read through it. It's a little kind of boring at the first because they're doing all the stuff that they have to do, with all the legal cases and things. And, pesky little cases. Not like it's anything important. But anyway, then it goes through about here. This is page 3. It starts explaining exactly what was going on. You get a better feel for it. And, Trump tweeted something out and she's trying to make a federal case over it. This was somebody had put this up. They did a sketch of supposedly this guy that had told her met her in this parking lot or something, and told her that she was not supposed to say anything about Trump. Well, they did a sketch, and it turns out that it looks like her ex-husband. So he says a sketch years later about a non-existent man, a total con job, playing the fake news media for fools, but they know it. So they're trying, she's trying to say that's defamation of character, and but the judge wasn't buying it. And so when you go through at the very end, this was an appeal, by the way. It already been turned down. And so this one says, because the complainant failed to plead an actionable false statement, the district court correctly granted the motion to dismiss. So the district court did not abuse its discretion by denying leave to amend the complaint. An amendment would have been futile because the tweet is not defamatory as a matter of law. Affirmed. So, that was the thing that, she lost again and not going to be upheld. So I thought that was pretty good. And then I wanted to point this out to you because this is the lady who did the expose of Nancy in the Salon. And this is a salon owner, and she says, I'm trying to decide if I should release the rest of the Pelosi surveillance tapes I have. I have a video of her littering garbage in the parking lot of my salon. I only will release it if I get a positive response. So it had a lot of people retweet. She says, I'm going to be releasing the rest of the Pelosi video footage very soon on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe with post notifications so you can see the videos as soon as they're posted. Well, here's her it's Republican Rinse. And so here's her channel. That's my shout out for today. She has 3,000 subscribers so far. She doesn't have any videos yet. So she will be putting that up, and it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. I love her name, Republican Rinse. That's great. So that should be interesting when it comes out. Well, and guess what? Yeah, the Clinton emails and FBI activity back in the news as New York FBI agent talks fills in the conservative treehouse background research. So kind of an interesting article that I'm going to leave for you to read because it's kind of long, but boy, good stuff in here, okay? So this Sundance does a great job on some of this stuff, and he's really been on the case with it. So there you go. I'm going to leave the link down below for you. You got to read this one, folks, because this is going to bring a lot of stuff out into the public. So cheer them on there. And then I wanted to point this out to you because I think this is very significant too for the stage that we're at. Today, AG Barr and I announced the largest investment for trafficking support services in U.S. history, over $100 million in grants. To the missing and trafficked across the nation, we will never stop looking for you. We will not rest until you have justice. So I thought that was really a great announcement there. And, it definitely is a major point of President Trump's his administration. He's really focusing on the trafficking aspect of it. And even when he talks about the border, he's always talking about the trafficking that goes on there, because that was a huge part of it. So anyway, I thought that was very good news there. And then I wanted to point this out to you because this is the doctor that was fired, Dr. Simone Gold, and she, for her stance on HCQ. And so she says that Nevada is now the 7th state to quietly reverse their decision to block it. And yep, sure enough, I think it was July 21st is when they decided, well, it expired, so I guess we're just going to let it go. And so now the board, let me bring this one up, says the board's emergency regulation adopted March 23rd, 2020, restricting the prescribing and dispensing of it. And it expired by operation of law at 11:59 Pacific time on July 21st, 2020, and is no longer in effect. So there you go. They can now prescribe it. What a concept. Too bad so many lives were lost because of their politicizing it. Okay, I wanted to show you this article too. ABC Town Hall masquerades anti-Trump activists as uncommitted voters. Okay, I don't know if you've seen this. I mean, it's well worth watching both of these town hall things because they were not equal. Definitely not. And Trump fielded so many questions and he did it very well. But everyone that came up to ask him, I mean, they put people in there that were supposed to be undecided or uncommitted, but they were. Look at this. This one here was a professor, and she called Trump an effing moron, pathetic pig, swine. I mean, these are nasty tweets here. When you look through them, they're just horrible, calling him pretty much every name in the book here. And she's the uncommitted person that they put in there. Yeah, right. I mean, really just nasty stuff. Anyway, those are the tweets. And then another uncommitted one is this pastor, Carl Day. And I don't know, I tried checking this guy out and, the statement of faith and stuff. And I listened to one of his sermons or a part of it. And, it seemed fairly solid. But the whole thing is, he calls President Trump, he says he's not a Christian, that he never made America, America was never great for the black people. And, it's just, really, you're kidding me, and calls him name a better villain. Terrible things, and said he ain't no Christian. It's just, how can you make that statement? I hesitate to make that statement about anybody because I don't know people's hearts and only God knows that. So it's really kind of bad. I know people say, well, you can tell by the fruit, but if you look at his fruit, not what the media is telling you, but you look at all the stuff that he's done very good things in his life. And even before he became president, a lot of times there are tons of stories out there of people that he found out they were in hardship and he just gave them money because they needed it, and he just handed it out freely. I mean, he never expected stuff back for it. He didn't want any of the glory or anything attached to it. And so this is one of the things about him. A lot of the giving that he does is not real public, so people don't know about it. But if you talk to those who are around him a lot, you understand that this is just part of his character. This is what he does. I could make a case for him showing a lot of Christian attributes, more than some people. So I just think it's kind of odd for this guy to make the statement. So what is his solution? Is he going to vote for Biden? Then how is he a Christian if he's supporting abortion? I don't get it. So, that's the thing. But if you look through this, there's more down here, and those are the two. And then, of course, Stephanopoulos himself, it was a former aide to President Bill Clinton who donated $75,000 to the Clinton Foundation between 2012 and 2014. And so it was just kind of a setup, really. And the president handled it very well, I thought, in my opinion. Anyway, we'll go on to this one. Well, guess what? The Federal Bureau of Investigation has arrested and charged a New York Police Department officer with acting as an illegal agent for the Communist Chinese government, court documents state. So, yeah, this guy was born in Tibet and came here. Well, he was here illegally for a little while, and then he claimed asylum and got to stay, and he was actually in the Army Reserves, I believe. Can't remember. Anyway, he served 2 tours in Afghanistan and 1 in Iraq. And then we find out he's been working with the Chinese government. Yeah, that's not fair. By the way, this picture right here, if you look way down at the bottom of the article, it says that's not him. That's just a representation of an officer. So it's like, yeah, okay, why'd you use it? But I guess they had to have a filler picture of some kind there. Anyway, this Breitbart article says, Joe Biden, voters don't deserve to know whom I'd appoint to Supreme Court. And down here, I mean, that's what he told them. He said, they just don't need to know. People don't need to know. And listen to this.
Not once voting is started. I've taught constitutional law for over 20 years. The Constitution suggests that the public gets one chance to decide what the court looks like. That's when they elect a president and they elect a Senate. We're in the middle of an election. By the time that vote comes up, if it comes up, there will have been close to 40% of the people who have already voted. It's a violation of the spirit of the Constitution to suggest that he should not wait until the outcome of the election. If, in fact, he wins and maintains the Senate, he should go ahead and make his appointment and keep that appointment whoever he wants and make the case. If he loses, then that appointment gets pulled down, and I get an opportunity in January, the end of January, early February, to make that appointment.
So how is it any different, though, from 2016?
2016, there were 9 months left to go.
But it was an election year.
No, but it was an election year. It wasn't in the midst of an election. There's a big difference. This never happened before. In the midst of an election going on right now, and if you look at the polling data you guys often cite to me, the vast majority of the American people think it shouldn't happen now. They should wait to see.
Sorry, Joe, that's wrong. You made several wrong statements there. First of all, it has happened before. It really has, and this is not without precedence. It has happened several times in the past, and the deal is the difference between Merrick Garland and this one is that when Obama nominated Merrick Garland, the Senate was not of Obama's party. And the Senate said, the guy's not going to make it. We're not going to confirm him. And the Republicans had the vote because Harry Reid had changed the vote. It used to be where they had to have 2/3 of the Senate, vote for these people. Well, Harry Reid didn't like that, so he got rid of that. And he made it to just a simple majority. And so now, really coming back to bite him in the butt, it's just kind of funny that, they set everything up because they didn't think they'd ever lose power. And we, the people, changed that. So we changed it with the Tea Party, and we changed it with President Trump. So they have lost out. We just have to make sure that we maintain that this time because we can't afford to lose the Senate and we can't afford to lose the White House. And really, honestly, we need the House because I am so tired of the garbage that's been going on. But anyway, so yeah, like that. Where does he come up with this 40% of the people will have already voted? How do you know when it's going to happen, Joe? We still have this is still September. We got all of October to go. So yeah, it can be done. And the thing is, they can't filibuster now, so they can't delay it or anything. It's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be, we've got the votes to make it through because even if the 3 rhinos, go over to the other side, then it would be 50-50, and that would mean that that Vice President Pence would have to come in, and he would break the tie, and he would definitely make it so that it would be for that particular nominee. So I don't know. And over here it says that President Trump meets with Amy Coney Barrett at the White House. And, she's kind of a local girl here around where I live. Well, she's from the same town as Pete Buttigieg. And she taught at Notre Dame for a while. But then she was just, President Trump just nominated her to, I want to say the 7th District Court. I don't know. When it comes to all these courts, it's like, I don't know which one's which. But yeah, one of them. And she had to go through a confirmation hearing, and Dianne Feinstein was not nice to her about her Catholic faith. Di-Fi was, going for the jugular on that. Well, anyway, then we go on this. Biden also said that his first choice is to select an African-American woman, but outlined his reasoning for not releasing a list of the nominees. Pressed on if the American people should know who he'll appoint, no, they don't, but they will if I'm elected. They'll have plenty of time. Well, you need to know before so you know what kind of man you're going to be voting in.
Your first choice, and who's on that list?
It is my first choice. I have a number of people on that list, but it is inappropriate for me to name that list for 3 reasons. As a constitutional matter, you should not be, because some of these people are on the court. If I name the list, it puts them in a very difficult position, because then any judgment they make about how they rule will be put in limbo. That is, did they make that judgment because they're on the list? Number one. Number two, it will allow them to be the target of all the vitriol or all the examination that occurs between now and the end of January without any way to defend themselves. And number three, what he's doing here is trying to change the subject. He wants the discussion about who I would appoint.
Should voters know? Should voters know who you're going to appoint?
No, they don't, but they will. If I'm elected, they'll know, and plenty.
They'll know after the fact. Yeah. It's kind of like Nancy, you got to vote for it first before you find out what's in it. That's pretty much it, right? Well, yeah. And he just lies when he says that. His 3 reasons are bogus. There's absolutely no reason whatsoever that he cannot release that list. The only reason is, and I agree with President Trump down here, that he's refusing to show his list of potential Supreme Court nominees because he wants far left radicals on the court. That is the case. Well, anyway, here it says he claimed he would not share the names because it, among other things, would give critics too much time to scrutinize them. Yeah. So I'll leave the links to all these articles down below because I think some of them are really good. They're great articles to share with people too, because if your friends are like mine, and if you're still sticking it out there on Facebook or one of the other social media, it can help people understand that, yes, there are news outlets out there that are giving a different story than what they're hearing in the mainstream media. Okay, well, Joe was wrong, as I said before, because a solid majority of Americans, including Democrats, want Supreme Court hearings during election year, poll finds. Now, this came out on September 20th, but the poll itself was from before Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away. So this was conducted in the days before her death. A substantial majority of respondents of both parties say that if a vacancy occurred during the 2020 election year, the Senate should hold hearings on a nominee, with 67% saying hearings should be held and 32% saying they should not be held. But look at the breakdown of this. The poll found that 68% of Republicans, 71% of independents, and 63% of Democrats indicated that there should be hearings held if a seat became vacated during a presidential election year. That's huge. I mean, only 68% of the Republicans, but 71% of independents? Yeah, what's going on there, Republicans? I don't know. But anyway, so it is going to go forward, and like I said, it's going to come to a vote, and the Republicans have enough to make it happen. This is something that I do want to point out to you. This dying wish, supposedly, that she would not be replaced until a new president is installed. Kind of ironic there, in my opinion, because so many of the decisions that she made were based on her opinion instead of according to the Constitution and the laws of our country. Quite often, she legislated from the bench, she and her liberal friends. And so to do this, if this is true, okay, we don't know for sure it's true. All we have is her granddaughter's word, and not really even that. We just have all these elite politicians who are, saying this, and it sounds more like something they'd make up than she would. But this whole thing right here, if this is true, then she's actually finishing out her life. The last act in her life was to do what she was doing on the bench, and that was rewriting the Constitution to suit her tastes, because that's what happened, folks. That's what that is. It's like, well, you can't do it just because I say so. I don't want you to do it. I don't care if you want me to do it or not. It doesn't matter what she wants. It does not matter. You don't change the Constitution purely because somebody doesn't like it or somebody doesn't want it that way. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. Doesn't matter. You don't change the Constitution. But that's what she was doing on the Supreme Court, so it doesn't surprise me if that is her last wish. She'd be true to the colors all the way out, I guess. Anyway. But this was an interesting article. I'll leave it down below so you can read that too. I don't know if you know about Ben Garrison, but he is really good here. And he comes up with some of the best cartoons. He's on Twitter, and you can follow him. It's Gur Graphics here. And you really need to see some of the stuff he does. But whenever he does a cartoon, he puts it on his website, and then he writes about it down below. I thought this one was pretty funny. Anyway, down here, he's talking about it, but he always writes like a little blog entry about him too. So I think it's really interesting to see what he has. He also has this shirt right here that he's got like a Teespring store, so you can get a lot of his shirts. But he has this one particular one. Let's see if I can find it. There, this one, this MAGA shirt. I think it looks really cool. And the thing is, he's got it on sale right now. Where is it? Yeah, it says available until tomorrow, which I'm recording this on Monday night. So this would be Tuesday, not too long after this video goes up, hopefully. I'll get it up to you before that. So if you want one, there it is. But he has a lot of other t-shirts, as you can see, sweatshirts, hoodies. Whenever you see a Teespring store, they usually have a lot of stuff. They even have bags, phone mugs, phone covers, lots of different things that there are. So, you can go through and see what he has, all these different types of things. And, he's got all kinds of designs. I wanted to show you this design down here. Yeah, he's got some cool designs down here. So, might be something that you want to look into. But anyway, when you go through them, you can see the different apparel. You can see housewares. Yeah, even pillows and bath and wall art. All of it. Face masks. We have face masks now. And so you have all those because, see, I know all this because there is a Truthification Chronicles store too. So just in case, the link's always down below and you can see some of these shirts. So anyway, I just wanted to point those out to you because he's got a lot of good stuff, and this looks like a pretty cool shirt there. So anyway, the last thing I want to leave you with is this one, because President Trump just tweeted this just a few minutes before I started recording. Guess what? Justice Department opens criminal inquiry into John Bolton's book. Oh, isn't that great? The investigators are examining whether the former national security advisor illegally disclosed classified information. So, yeah, we're going to see. They used to get away with this stuff. Not going to get away with it anymore. Nope. So this should be pretty interesting. Anyway, that's what I've got for you on this one. I want to thank you for stopping by, and I'll see y'all later.